They see what seems to be kind of a tall, scrawny character. But don't let your eyes deceive you. Okay. About 5'10", not super tall, but scrawny, wearing a cloak that's furry and fuzzy and black. And you can see one blue eye, and you can't really see the other side of the face. And I walk like I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going, but also like I don't really want you to see what's beneath the cloak. That's what you see. Oh, I am Dr. Ink.
You see a pretty tall, skinny, intensely awkward fire genasi. She's relatively well dressed as like an academic, and she looks like she knows what she's doing, but really desperately does not want to be surrounded by all this money. And Dr. Ink is probably her only friend, because God forbid she actually has to talk to people and put up with them.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, it's way easier to just do my excavating, my studies. Don't really want to have to like negotiate for my ability to do my job. But yeah, her hair is kind of black, but with like burning embers mixed throughout. It's kind of pretty cool. Her eyes are amber, and her skin is like a chalky ash color.
Rob is a total white green with a club and seal made of wood on his in his hands.
So my character is a kind of an average height, but a little stocky build. Fairly muscular, wearing full chainmail, large halberd in one hand, and a shield strapped to my back. Um, I'm a Lazarial tiefling with red skin, orangish yellow eyes. What looks to be a serious expression is almost always on my face, but there's an air about me as I walk in that hints to a little bit of levity in my steps sometimes.
Belzal is a 5-foot Yuan-Ti with like a blackish green scales all over and sort of like a jungle pattern. Piercing red eyes are surprisingly kind. And he wears some nice robes that you could hear the chink of chainmail underneath. And you see his shield, and he has a large head of a unicorn on his clothes and on his shield. And he wears a beautiful circlet of woven meadow flowers that surprisingly never wilt around his head. And so that's what he looks like.
No wine for me,
Why-
but thank you.
Okay, it seems that they get lost in their train of thought and unfortunately seem to lose for a moment what they were saying. And you all wait just a couple of seconds, and you know that clearly there is something that she is wanting to say. And just about the time that you think that maybe you might want to remind them what you're there for, they turn and gaze upon you all and say, "My contacts have learned that there is a death curse, and that death curse that they heard about has struck me. I don't know how much longer I'll last before I perish. All the clerics that I could find and all of the help of all of the churches or temples have been of no help. They are stymied by what has happened. I have been trying to figure out what has caused this, and along with my contacts within the Harpers, we have learned that the cause of this death curse is a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. Now, unfortunately, we cannot ascertain as to exactly where this artifact is, but we have been able to narrow it down to somewhere within the peninsula of Chult.
Chult, you say?
Yes, Chult.
Dr. Ink turns around at the mention of Chult and kind of mentions to Rika, wait, really? Wait, really?
Yes.
Nobody ever has any taste.
Well,
honestly, soulmonger.
Agreed. This is why all of you have been chosen. Not only for your skills as they were, but also for your connections to this peninsula. As you know, the Chult Peninsula is ringed with mountains and choked with rainforests. Enormous reptiles, savage goblins, and even an army of undead prowl its jungles and ruins. But the problem is that mapping the place has become, well, nigh impossible, and nothing is known about the region's current geography beyond a few miles from the coast. And that is where you all come in. There's only so much work that I can glean from working from dozens of sea charts and logbooks and explorers' journals that I've assembled. It is to my belief that I've assembled everything known about the current state of Chult onto one map. And if you are willing to undertake my mission, I will provide it to you. For you see, it is my hope that you can go and retrieve this artifact and figure out how to stop this death curse. And it is my hope that you can do so within the time that I have left. I don't know how long that will be, but I am willing to try anything, as this is truly my last hope. I know that it is much to ask, I am sure, but if you can do this, I promise that each of you will be not only paid for your services, but also, based on the research that I have done, perhaps rewarded with enough treasure from Chult to make you as rich as kings. But I personally promise that each of you will receive a quite rare magic item from me for completing this task.
Going back home will be a very nice thing, Araxis. I think that setting the jungles of Chult and Maliki's bounty free in those jungles from this death curse is the proper way to prosper.
Well, yes, my friend.
Yes, that's
in her
good.
blessed name, we shall restore balance to nature.
Yeah, Dr. Ink goes back over to Riki again.
Family's tough, but there's a lot about Chult we don't understand because it's so dangerous. Getting the funding, guaranteed funding, and do some good in the world at the same time, that basically never happens.
This is a big group. There's 3 other people here.
I
We're gonna work
I
with
know.
3 other people? Are they gonna
I
pull
know.
it off?
I really don't want to deal with 3 other people, but look at us. We're glass cannons. We could trip and die here in Baldur's Gate.
Which is why I prefer our little digs instead of a big mission. What are we doing this for?
Well, it is. Think of it as just a big dig. We always have security for even the small ones, but this time they look competent, and it's for a good cause. And we get to be the ones that figure out shit about Chult before that jackass Dr. Jones.
Oh, don't
You really
tell
want to
me
let him trample all over Chult?
Dick.
Probably strangle himself with his own fucking whip.
True story. Okay. Okay, you've convinced me. I'll go to Chult.
Well, I'm not happy about it either, but I think
Not-
we need to go.
Okay.
Dr.
I'll-
Ink and Riki, give me a history check, please.
For sure, for sure.
Happy to.
History. I'm theoretically good at those. Hey!
Good way to start, Kate. I like it. Alright. Riki,
Distracted with thoughts of
you recognize the religious symbols that the 2 carry as symbols of Maliki. And you know that, it's always good to have somebody watching out for you, and having 2 people that are followers of Maliki guarding, along with you is probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
So you feel very confident in what you have said to Dr. Ink.
Definitely, yeah.
So, as...
And then, never a bad idea to have a turtle around, because they don't often involve themselves in world politics.
Politics? What's that?
Exactly. It's a bunch of bullshit rules everybody made up, and we're expected to follow. So.
Sounds strange.
Yeah, it is. But that's how the world works.
So as she is sitting there and listening to you work your way through this and decide if this is something that you would like to take on, she hears the comment about the funding that Dr. Ink says, and she says, "Do not worry, for I will be your benefactor for this mission." And she says, "If you look over on that table, and you see over, kind of in the corner, you see a table, and there are 5 pouches, and small leather pouches, not too big." And she says, along with the pouches, you also see a small bag that seems to be, a square, or kind of a square rectangle bag, leather case satchel that can easily be slung over a shoulder. And she says, "I will take care of the expenses, or some of the expenses that you may incur. So please accept this as a token of my gratitude for accepting this." And does anybody walk over to the table?
First, I want to do an insight check on Lady Sylvain.
Okay.
Who I'm assuming this is.
That is, in fact, yes.
Insight. Not good at those.
She is telling the truth about the death curse affecting her. She is telling the truth about appreciating your assistance. But other than, those are very clear that she is telling the truth about. The rest of it is a little hard to read.
Fair enough. And I'll go inspect the stuff on the table.
Okay. So you go over and you pick up one of the bags, and you all, as soon as that bag is picked up, the small pouch, you hear the jingle of coins within. And you
Ooh.
open it, and it looks like there is roughly around 50 or so gold pieces in there.
Nice.
You kind of pick up, each of the other ones and just to check, and they all seem to be of the same weight. So it is pretty safe to assume that there is the same amount in each one.
Dr. Ink,
Huh?
hold on. Dr. Ink wants to kind of, hey, you think that's adequate funding to risk our lives?
I think it's a nice start. If what the stories of Chult say are even close to being true, there's so much money in those jungles. Magical artifacts, strange texts. A wealth of culture that we barely understand because it's all fifth-hand information from fleeing refugees when those societies collapsed. Who knows what we could find? It could be everything, and it could be us impaled on spikes in the bottom of a pit. But we won't know until we go.
Sounds like a good Thursday. Okay.
I think it's Saturday?
Oh. You're not
as you're finishing this conversation, you undo the satchel, the latch, the buckle, or I should say, that is holding it closed, and you open it and you find that there are 5 potion bottles within this bag.
Oh!
And you pull one out.
Do I recognize the types of potions?
So go ahead
From
and
grad
give
school?
me an Arcana check.
Theoretically good at those.
Theoretically.
Oh!
They're red. You assume that they're probably health potions.
Barely passed that class.
Yeah. You assume that they're probably health potions.
Like,
The right color.
and I'm assuming like minor,
Uh-huh.
nothing super fancy.
Uh-huh.
But 5 health potions is better than no health potion. Is that all that's in there? Is the health potions?
Health potions and gold.
And 50 gold.
50 gold each, yep. She says,
Damn.
based on the fact that we are within Baldur's Gate, I urge you, if there is anything that you each need to get before traveling to Chult, to please go and do that now, as other than Port Nanzaru, there is not much to be purchased or acquired within Chult, based on my research, of course. But when you are ready to depart, all you need to do is come back, and I will teleport us straight to Port Nanzaru. As that is.
Oh, we don't even have to take a boat?
No. That is the only major settlement within Chult, and I have been there several times before. So there is little chance for mishap.
That's
Oh, why'd you have to say that out loud?
I was wondering. I thought we would be commissioning a ship, but since we are being teleported, I can see. So after you teleport us, I assume you will come back to your fine manor here.
No, I will be staying with a friend of mine named Wakaning Otama. He's one of the 7 merchant princes who rule the city of Port Nanzaru.
Oh.
And then once we get boots in Port Nanzaru, Do you have contacts there for us to begin our journey, or leads for us to go with?
I do, and that is my friend will have some leads as well as many contacts within the city as well. So yes, there is much to be learned from the city itself, and we shall learn what we can there as well. But as I said, this is a time-sensitive issue, thus the reason for teleporting as opposed to taking a ship.
Well, that makes sense. And you know the area, so we're probably not going to end up in pieces or elsewhere. So,
Probably.
probably. You never know with magic, but at the same time, taking a boat will take an absurd amount of time, and we could always get eaten by a kraken. Or sunk
Kraken?
in a storm. I'm just saying, I don't like boats. There's
She stops and she looks at you, and she's like, "Now who's saying things out loud?"
I talk to myself. Normally it's just me and Dr. Ink. And whatever intern gets stuck with us.
Intern?
A poor schmuck who gets to work for us for class credit. So we don't have to pay them because often we don't have any money to give them in the first place. And
Lucky if we have money to put food in our mouths.
right? We're not as flashy as Dr. Jones. Makes a good show of breaking everyone else's stuff and taking credit for things that he stumbles across. Or that somebody else did all the hard work for, but he swoops in at the last minute and is handsome and charming and... God, I hate him so much.
I know. Me too. Dr. Dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
Araxis, I think we need to gather some supplies.
Yeah, what are we gonna need? Don't often do jungle stuff. Water probably won't be an issue.
Tent. Water will be an issue.
Water will be a grand issue. You don't want to.
I mean, it's gonna rain a lot, so...
To purify and to properly get the stuff that you need, I suggest maybe an extra water skin or two. And possibly a tent or such.
Have one of those. I have a 2-person tent. So, need at least one other 2-person tent and a single.
If you do not have any rope, it's usually good to have rope, maybe a grappling hook or some pittons or climbing gear might be good for us.
Well, I have some rope, my friends, but I agree, we definitely could pick up some extra jungle supplies. Maybe even some overgrown mosquito repellent could come in handy if we could find some.
Always the jokes, Axe. Always the jokes.
Mosquito repellent. That would be good. I need to find some.
Well, I don't know about mosquito repellent within here, but you should be able to find that within Schult. There's not much use of it within Baldur's Gate, but the rest of the supplies you should be able to acquire. Well, you go ahead and go and get your supplies and meet me back here, and I will start preparing the teleportation circle for your return.
I think, yes, second water skin.
Excuse me,
Yes.
my new female friend.
Oh, there's 2 of us, so...
The one with the flames.
Oh, that's me. I'm Rika. You're Lob, right?
Rob is my name. Yes, thank you for remembering. May I see one of those potions you have?
Oh, everybody has the. Is it
It's-
one, Susan? Was it
it's
one bag?
It's one potion per person. They are all within
Oh.
one bag.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can have one person hold all of them, or everybody can hold on to one. That seems fair.
I'll hold my own, and I snatch it out.
All right. I'm keeping the pouch though.
You can have it.
But I
I
think
might need extra spell components. You never know.
if each one holds one, you never know when you get separated in the jungle.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Or one of us falls down like a waterfall, or crushed by a tree and all the bottles break.
Or gets pushed.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Okay. So
It sounds like you guys have had quite a bunch of adventures already.
Dude, grad school is rough.
And a little wild.
Yeah, it's a free for all for funding and mentorship, and some people just need to be pushed into dangerous situations because they're just the worst.
The worst.
And for everyone else's safety as well, because
I mean,
you know
really.
these ancient ruins are trapped and they're dangerous for a reason, and you can't just go wandering down halls and picking up whatever you want, because then we all get lit on fire.
Exactly.
Or drowned. Not a fan.
And during this little speech that we're having, I'm just gonna twirl my dagger a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so we hitting the shops or not?
I think we need to. We do. We
Let's-
need stuff.
Let's go.
Okay.
I need stuff, fancy ink, and paper, in case we can find any interesting spells. Now I have a little bit of money,
You do in fact.
and I do need an extra water skin, just in case something happens to the first one, and to carry extra water.
Okay.
All right.
Don't I?
So you go out and she actually, before you leave, she will tell you a couple of the shops to go to where you can find such supplies. The magic shop, ironically named Hell's Gate. You can easily purchase the necessary paper and ink. How much are you wanting to spend on paper and ink?
Well, a lot, probably, because I don't know when I'm going to get the opportunity to do it again.
Okay.
Because I have to have the materials to add stuff to my spell book, because just having the spell scroll doesn't do me any good.
Correct.
And I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy more in Cholt.
Okay.
So,
You can find a 1 ounce bottle of ink, which will, be good for quite a bit of writing, for 10 gold.
okay.
And then paper to go with it, for approximately the same amount of your, the ink versus paper. You're looking at, that would be 5 gold for paper.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
As you drop the name,
Lady
Sylvain.
Sylvain.
It seems that, at least within the magic shop, that gets you slight
discount.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there anything else anybody else needs from the magic shop?
Does the magic shop has a herb?
Some, yes. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for herbs for making stronger potions of healing if necessary.
Well, they you go in and you talk to this person, and they say, I don't necessarily have um, a whole lot of those components. Usually, I end up using them to make other healing potions. But I do have an extra component pouch if you need that. It has some other material components and special items in there. And I would say you get the beginnings of some of the specialty stuff that you would need that you know you cannot find within Schult. You're able to make a component pouch with just those specialty items for 25 gold. So, like, there's some of the other stuff you can get within Schult itself, but there's some special items that you get within that, and you're able to talk them into making a component pouch with just that.
That will be good. I'll give them the gold.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Nope, I don't need anything from magic.
Okay.
No, I already have a component pouch.
Okay.
We wanted to get we're gonna get a water skin, an extra water skin. Somebody said something about grappling hooks.
Okay, so you can kind of go to a general store kind of feel, and you
good. Do you have like a weapons such as maybe a simple weapons like a dagger or a yilkawa, other things such as that?
I do. And they point you over to like the weapon section. So they have some just simple daggers over there that are 2 gold apiece. There is one that is a little more bejeweled. That is 3 gold. Seems more ceremonial than necessarily usable for combat, but it's pretty nonetheless. Let's see. There is they've got a couple of flails. There's a halberd. There's
I think a flail might suit me well. How much would that be?
The flail would be 10 gold. There's some longbows, some pretty good quality long swords. There's a some really intricate quarterstaffs. There's a couple of rapiers and scimitars. The abundance of short swords. There's even a sickle on the wall up there. As well as a couple of whips sitting on the shelf. But you asked for what was the other ones that you were asking for?
I wanted a yiklawa. It's a short stab by like a dagger, but a little bit longer, about 18 inches. Gives a good jab.
And give me
simple weapon.
Give me a persuasion check. As they seem to pause as you say that. They know what you're talking about, but they don't seem to give an inclination that they're willing to part with it.
We are on preparing to go on a mission for Lady Sylvain, though.
Lady Sylvain?
Well, yes, we're going on an exhibition on her behalf.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so then? One moment, please. And they, take off and go head back to the back. And a couple minutes later, they walk back with this 3-foot wooden shaft with a steel blade on the end that is, judging without actually physically measuring it, around 17 inches long. And they say, "This is what you're looking for, yes?"
Absolutely, thank you.
We only have one. It is very rare to find it on the Sword Coast. Usually these don't make it out of Chult. But we had just acquired it not too long ago. That would be... It would be 1 gold for this one.
Thank you very much.
You're
I appreciate it.
Good luck and... good luck.
Get the water skins, and I want to find the prettiest water skin.
Okay.
And get the prettiest water skin. But I want to get a whip.
Okay.
Because
so a
that
whip
just
is
feels
2
bad.
gold.
2 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like 10 candles.
10 candles, okay. Alright, so let's see.
Forgot to add the gold for my background.
Oops. All right.
Yeah, well, that's a lot more money than I thought I had.
So candles would be 1 copper apiece. Okay. So you find this water skin that most of the other ones seem to be like just a regular leather tied with a piece of rope and just a standard cork that is put into the end of it. You kind of dig around through the pile of them, and you find one that seems to be made of a different material, at least partially. It seems that it's a little more sturdy than the other water skin. It seems like it's almost made out of a ceramic material. It is got leather around it, but the leather seems to be braided cord that is braided around the water skin. It's. I mean, you had to dig through a lot of them, and it was tucked back into the back of the shelf. But you did find it is a like a light blue ceramic material with a white leather braiding around it. And it's got a really nice stopper to it. Yeah. And that
I'm gonna go to Chult.
That one is 1 gold.
1 gold. I'll pay it. If I'm gonna go to Chult, I'm gonna treat myself.
There you go. It's like I knew what you were thinking, huh?
Right? Rika, you still good bunking together?
Yeah, I've got the tent still.
Okay.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Agreed.
If it ain't doggone broke.
I just don't want to have to go. I don't want to have to share a tent with anyone.
No, that's fair.
Alright.
I am kind of curious, in that magic shop, since I suddenly have more money than I thought I did, do they have any interesting arcane focuses?
They do.
Or are they just like the bog standard?
No, there's some. What are you looking for?
I'm not sure, because they're often very expensive. I just think they have anything interesting with character.
Okay.
Might be useful in a jungle.
Okay. So you thinking more like, are you thinking wand, or are you thinking not wand?
I'm thinking I might want a staff because it's fun to hit people with sticks.
Okay. There were some that were that.
But a wand, I'm not opposed to wands. Just seems pretty standard, unless they have something particularly.
So
unique.
there's actually at this shop that you're at right now, at the Wouldn't It Be Nice, you look up in like towards the back of the store, and you see this it's like on the very top of the wall where they've displayed some of like the weapons and stuff. You see this quarterstaff that looks as if it were carved to resemble fire coming up the staff.
I'm such a basic bitch, I love it.
And
it's almost too on the nose. I ask him, what can you tell me about that quarterstaff there?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know that the person who ended up selling it told us that it came from his family, and it was belonged to to his uncle, who was a wizard, and, well, I don't know that it is necessarily magical, but it seemed to help him to, supposedly focus his spells.
Magic better.
Yeah. But we haven't been able to sell it, and it's kind of just become a centerpiece.
Decoration.
Yeah. It just looks really cool.
It is very cool looking. If you were to sell it, what would you be asking for it? Or is the fact that I have to ask a non-starter?
Oh no, of course. That is not a problem. We can do that for you. You would be looking at, well, and he kind of stands there and he thinks a moment and he says, I could let it go for a gold.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Honestly, good sir, I'd be stupid not to take that deal. I'll buy it.
Okay. So
Yeah. Well, it's good to have a backup to the component pouch, because you never know.
It is a so as this is happening, hey, look at that, we're getting raided. Oh yay.
Ooh.
Thanks, Andy. Alright, we are getting raided by 8 people, it looks like, with a party of 9. Nice. Okay, thank you guys.
Woohoo.
Welcome. We are officially having a shopping episode right now, but that's okay. It's all good.
Get the shopping out of the way now.
They are shopping within Baldur's Gate before they
Depart to Chult.
Yeah, head to Chult. Our wizard has just acquired a quarterstaff as an arcane focus. The quarterstaff is a almost looks like a cherry wood, and as the at the base of it, it seems to be just a little bit more red. And as the quarterstaff comes to the other end, the color of the wood seems to get lighter. In essence, looking quite similar to a actual fire, being more red in the center and coming out from there. Exactly. Helps to state that shopping thirst in real life. That's true. So, is there anything else that you guys need to purchase within Baldur's Gate before you go back to Sylvain Manor to head, thanks to Lady Sylvain, to the teleportation circle and head to Chult?
So it's a staff that doubles as a quarterstaff?
So it has the quarterstaff properties when you attack, if you want to use it as a actual attack. Otherwise, it is a focus.
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, because what if I lose my component pouch?
What if you run
Or
out
vice
of
versa?
components? Exactly.
Well,
The
Yeah.
more I think about going to Chult, the more I think I need a flask with a little something in it.
Okay. So, what do you? Okay, so you can grab a flask. Okay. Let's see here. You head over to
Drinks
the
on the
flask
job.
department.
do I notice that?
You do notice this because as you
She's not being subtle?
nodding a little bit. You saw when Dr. Ink was shopping through the water skins. Well, they're shopping through the flasks just as vigorously, looking for the one that jumps out. And
Yep.
as you're going through the flasks, you paw through, and you see that the flask that you find looks to be the same shade as your water skin. However, within or on this flask is a paw print.
Print.
You know, Dr. Ink, I think it's fate.
It might be. Okay,
Just-
let's get
Thanks,
it.
Lady
How
Lufay.
much?
It was made by our resident art. Well, what did I call you? Our director of art for the DMS Adventurers Tavern. Kate is the one who drew the logo. It's awesome. So, yay, Kate.
Yes.
All right. So a flask is 2 copper,
Practically giving them away.
practically.
2 copper, and then I need to fill this flask.
You do, and you actually you go over and you find the bottles of alcohol, and I would say for a silver you can purchase the alcohol of your choice.
Something strong.
Yep. Thank you, L2. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I worked hard on the logo.
Yes, she did. Just so you guys
That's
can
my cake.
actually get a better look at it, just to make it a little bit easier to see, since we're just shopping at the moment and not actually within the lady's house. You can see that. Yeah. There we go. Now you can see the logo a little bit clearer. That is Dylan and Ashy, as well as our character tokens. So, all right. Okay. So yes, that is okay. Not a problem. Okay.
I've got the flask
Thank
set
you.
up.
The boys are my co-DMs, so they have to be represented, of course. Although nobody's helping me right now. Huh. I think they're both hanging out with Tori. Okay. Maybe the other one is he here? Oh, yep, he is helping. He is in the kitty cube right next to me on the ground. Huh. All right. Anything else that you guys would like to purchase? It can be dangerous, actually. Oh, you know what? There is one other thing that is required within this shopping trip, because I would be remiss to have not allowed this to happen. Hey, Dr. Ink, roll me a D100, please.
Oh, okay.
It is one of your favoriteest parts of shopping trips. All right, a 98.
Roll high now. Okay, sorry.
You find, a hat that can magically dry in any rain. Keeps you magically dry in any rain.
Multiples of those.
There is multiples of those. It is a key hat, especially going into a jungle, right?
I have a feeling it's going to be very rainy and very moist.
If anybody else would like to roll D100s, you are more than welcome to do so as you wander around the store while the rest of your party is shopping.
How much is this fancy hat?
5 silver. 72.
I'll buy one for me and for my compatriot.
Okay, so that would be a solid gold then.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's see here. 72 is a let's see here. Rika, that is a stack of owl bear feathers. that look to be all in perfect shape.
Interesting. How many are there in a stack?
Well, let's see here, shall we? Let the dice decide.
Susan.
No, there's one stack. One stack.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Oh, really? No, come on. Let's make it 6 in each stack. That is really terrible.
Okay.
Well, actually, let's put it this way, and for those of you who are watching the stream, this is the one other thing that Kate has made for me, and that is the dice jail. Dear D20s and other dice, go to dice jail. Because you are rolling really crappy.
Dice jail.
Dice
Yes.
jail. Yes, we have figured out how to do dice jail.
So you're saying there's a feather for each of us?
There would be a feather for each of you, yes, as a matter of fact.
How much for the feathers?
So that would be, for both stacks, you'd be looking at 2 silver?
For 2 silver each or 2 silver total?
2 silver total. A silver per stack. Okay.
Oh.
Number 40.
Everybody can get 2 feathers.
There you
Can
go.
stick them in our hats or whatever. Sure, I'll buy them.
Oh, look, like we're a team.
Lob.
Yeah, we'll go team.
Lob,
Go
you
team.
find...
These feathers will look quite grand in our hats.
Yeah.
Lob, you find a glass jar containing what looks to be a clear gel. The jar is labeled in Dwarvish. Do you by chance speak Dwarvish?
No.
Okay, you're not quite sure what it says, but it looks cool.
Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
Or read it? If you give me 10 minutes, I can cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual.
We could ask the clerk.
There's an idea.
Is the clerk a dwarf?
Nope.
Does the clerk speak Dwarvish?
Yes. You take it up and the clerk says, "Oh, yeah, that's our, well, I don't know if you've ever run into one, but that's a deceased gelatinous cube."
Gelatinous cube. Interesting.
But that one's dead, so you don't need to worry.
You're sure it's dead?
Well, I didn't kill it, but that's what the thing says.
I take it.
I don't like that. I really don't like that.
I
That
whisper to
is-
Rika, I want
2 silver.
it so bad.
Alright,
I can
But no one else hears me, just Rika.
just
Want it so bad.
alright, and then axe. Let's see.
Who bought that?
That was Lob. Lob got it.
Got my.
You are interested in this barrel of mysteries. Okay. Okay. Axe, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common and Infernal. Speak with my blade more than my mouth.
That is fair. You see a small glass orb to contain what looks like seawater. And it seems to be kind of murky right now. And as you look outside, you look out to see that it is kind of storming outside right now. As if this were able to tell you that it is storming outside.
So, do I recognize this as a some sort of a weather meter? I guess.
Yes, it does let you know that there will be a storm as it grows murky when there is a storm approaching.
This orb is quite fascinating. How much would this thing cost? I think it
This
could come in handy.
this would be 3 silver.
3 silver. That's a bargain. I'll give you 5.
Thank you. Okay. And so then, Axe and Bell, you were wanting to converse while the rest of them were shopping?
Yes, sort of.
Okay.
Let's just say that let's stop wasting our time over stupid trinkets and get back.
Well, my friend, preparation. It always comes in handy. Sometimes 5 minutes prepping for the battle can win it before it starts. But I
I
agree.
don't know about...
We must make haste on our mission.
Oh, I agree. I think we're good now. This was just seeing if we could find anything fun or interesting, and I think these waterproof hats are going to be very nice to have, because any kind of creature comfort is going to be in short supply in Chult.
Okay. So, with that, you head back to the manor, to the lady, and, again, when you arrive and you knock on the door, you are escorted back up, to the lady. However, this time, instead of going, to the 3rd floor, you are escorted to the 2nd floor, and much similar to the room that you were taken to last time, this room is got wood paneling all over. It is very, very dark room. But you see the lady has a couple of bags that she's got next to this circle that has been drawn in chalk. And she's sitting there in a chair wrapped up in her blanket, and she says, have you gotten all of the supplies that you wish to acquire?
Certainly hope so. Ready to mosey?
Okay. Is there any other questions that you have before we head out?
Besides, what the hell are we doing this for? No, let's go.
Well, sounds like there's a dangerous necromantic artifact, and I, for one, would rather... we don't necessarily have to destroy it. I don't know if we're capable of doing that, but I'm thinking it, at the very least, needs to be turned off.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're really rare.
Okay.
Oh, I'm wrong lots. I just don't like to admit to it.
Okay. Let's go to Chult.
Okay. Well, and it seems that this would actually be a really, really great place to go ahead and, I know it's a little bit early, but we had said like 7:30, but why don't we go ahead and take a 5-minute break and get situated, and then you will be teleporting to Chult. So,
Sweet.
all right, everybody,
Woo!
we will be right back, and we will see you in a few minutes. Thank you. I hope you hang around, and we will be back in 5. Thanks, guys.
Ooh.
All right, and we are back. Okay, so before we left off, you had met Lady Sylvain and accepted her mission to head to Cholt and to search out the artifact that is causing the death curse, the necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. The faction agents that are her contacts had learned that it is somewhere within Cholt, however, they're not quite sure where. And you learned that Lady Sylvain had mapped out quite a bit of Cholt, well, quite a bit being a couple of miles in from the ocean. But as you are getting ready to take this teleportation circle to head to Joel. Thank you, Bob! Bob just followed us. Yay!
Yay, Bob!
Yay, Bob! So, she takes and picks up this fairly elaborate, it looks like it is gorgeous paper. It is, about, I want to say like 18 inches long, or wide, and it is rolled up quite a bit, and she hands you a map. She says, as promised, here is the map of which we have been able to map out Cholt. And you notice that the majority of the middle of the map, it's kind of missing any seeming sort of detail. Aww, Cindy has wizard envy. Okay. So, yes. You see that the center of the map seems to be unexplored, or... Oh, yes, wizard envy for the paper. Yes, it is. And you... Yeah, Anna. Tori is yelling from the background, ask if she has more paper. So you see this elaborately drawn map of Cholt, missing a lot of the inside of the peninsula, or inside of the island. And she says, unfortunately, this is as much as we have been able to learn. So, and she kind of turns to Dr. Ink and both of the two scholars of the group, and knowing that you two are very much the ones that like to explore,
Know how to read
and
maps.
read maps and stuff. And she says, Rika, if you could please fill in the map as you find out things, I would greatly appreciate that, and it would help immensely in the future for any future endeavors.
Oh, definitely. I'm proficient in cartographer's tool.
She ends up handing you a additional vial of ink
Sweet.
that matches the ink that is used on the map.
Okay. Yes, and I am proficient in
Along
cartography.
with a quill that looks like no other quill you have ever seen before.
Does it look magical?
It looks to have a reservoir within the quill.
Is it an ink pen?
It is an
Susan?
ink pen. Uh-huh.
Oh. That.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be staring at that for a while,
Yep.
trying to figure out how it works.
Exactly. So,
Fascinating.
you know, this lady's done her research. She's got all the cool tools and tricks.
Oh,
So
what you can do with funding.
So with that, she turns to all of you and says, "Are you ready?"
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes.
I think so. We're not gonna have to deal with any cold weather, are we?
Only if you get wet.
Oh, good thing I've got fire.
So with that, she And, this lady is frail. She is, like,
falling apart
Yeah.
in front of us.
Yeah, she is not in great health. But you see her, she walks over to the teleportation circle and does a few, movements with her hand, and you see the bags that she has with her seem to pick themselves up and carry themselves over to next to her. She reaches down and she does the final line on the teleportation circle, and all of a sudden it flares. And she says, "Well, hurry, you have but only a few moments." And she steps in.
I follow.
Okay.
I'll step in as fast as I can.
Okay. And
Well, my friend, let's go.
And
Yes.
with that, you are teleported to Cholt.
Shout.
The next thing that you arrive within a much different climate than you were before. You go from a fairly moderate temperature straight to the hot and humid temperatures and surroundings that all of you are quite familiar with. You appear in the tropical city under the blazing sun. The familiar sounds of a harbor, the creaking ropes, the slapping waves, the heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones, mingle with the voices shouting and cursing in what would be unfamiliar to anyone else, but you recognize as a language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical, and it be the sound of the Cholton language. The aroma of familiar spices and tropical fruits mixes with the wharfside smells of fish, tar, and canvas. And as you look, you see beyond all of that, Port Nanzru is the explosion of color. Buildings are painted in shades of blue, green, orange, and even what can only be described as a salmon pink color, or some even, which you don't remember from the last time that you were here. Some of the walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. The one thing, though, every building sports is baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers, or in some cases draped in leafy flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with flowers and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delight, and yet also terror, as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them. This whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. But the one thing that it is it is home. As you stand within the port, the lady turns to you and says, "I recommend that you secure rooms for yourselves. Well, it is your choice where you stay, but it depends on if you're up for a rambunctious time or if you're just looking for a good night's sleep. Either at the Thundering Lizard or Kaya's House of Repose." And you see that she kind of waits to see what kind of response that gets.
I think that depends on the price tag.
Perhaps. She says, "You will find both of them near the Red Bazaar. But and it is as she starts to finish her statement, or finish her comment, that you see what looks to be a a butler of some sort stride up to her and very softly say, "My lady, your ride is this way." And she says, "You will find me at the villa of the merchant prince Otamu. I will be staying there for the remainder of our excursion. If you need anything, please come and find me."
Okay.
Okay. So, with that, you are completely. It is up to you where you would like to go.
I take out my flask and take a nice healthy swig and say, "I'm following you, Rika."
Well, I think the more rowdy place will give us a better idea of the people that we're going to be interacting with. But the other one will be quieter and guarantee a good night's sleep. But I think the other one will
Maybe
be
one
more...
night of fun before we kill ourselves.
I think a night of joyous occasion is in due haste right now, because I think many days of death and destruction are upon us. We should enjoy what we have while we can.
I'm gonna lean into Rika and say, "I don't hate that one today."
He makes a good point. Let's have fun, if we can.
Okay. So,
And it's also probably less expensive.
everybody give me a history check to see if you remember where the location of these places where she has sent you.
Oh boy.
The Red Bazaar. Okay. All right.
I've never been to Chult.
No, but you have studied enough and you have been around ink enough to know
A little bit.
a little bit. Yeah. So
And I know this place really well.
yes. Axe, you are aware that the Red Bazaar is just outside of the Market Ward. It is at this location right in here. So.
Follow me, friends. I believe I know where we can go.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. The Market Ward houses the Red Bazaar. And with that, actually, Lob, you as well know where it is. You know that it is right in the Market Ward. And as you guys are traveling, nobody really knows how the Red Bazaar got its name. But Lob, you are aware that one of the stories is that the label comes from the huge slabs of dinosaur meat sold here and the resulting buckets of blood that stain the rain-washed gutters. It's a pretty good reason.
How macabre. I love it.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So, did you decide that you were going to the Thundering Lizard or the Kaya's House of Repose?
I think the Thundering Lizard sounds a little bit more lively, doesn't it?
It does, in fact.
Yes, anything with reptiles is much more preferred.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. So, you...
I really don't hate that one today.
All right. So, you head to the Thundering Lizard. Okay. Within the Thundering Lizard, you definitely find a much more rambunctious clientele. You find that within this tavern and inn, there is both the merchants as well as some other adventuring type. But also, well, you notice several people that look like they just got off of a ship and have been looking for quite some entertainment, shall we say. And so you are able to secure rooms for the night within the Thundering Lizard for 5 silver apiece. Or 5 silver a room, depending on how many rooms you would like. Within this location, you also see that many of the people seem to be wearing not a whole lot of armor or heavy clothing. You see everybody seems to be dressed in fairly light clothing. And let's see here. Axe, what kind of armor do you have?
I have chainmail, but my bloodline will hopefully help me, get a little accustomed to the heat faster.
As soon as you get there, though, you're like, oh, I would hate to not be used to the heat, because even with your tiefling bloodline, it's still really warm and kind of gross.
Yes, I remember why I left this place.
Mm-hmm.
It is home.
It is. In every sense of the word. Okay. Okay, you notice that the tavern, the ground floor, the floor seems to be made of a stucco covered stone floor. And there is quite a few windows in this establishment that seem to all be open. But even the inside, I mean, the outside is pretty nice considering how colorfully painted it is. The inside is as well. You see geometric shapes of of angles and straight lines. You see some intermixed within that. You see pictures that portray animals and landscapes and maybe even the occasional hero. And yeah, it seems to be your typical,
Dive bar?
Yeah, lower end, dive bar, yeah. I mean, there's no peanuts on the floor kind of thing, but it's pretty close. The ale's alright. But you are able to, by this point in time, with all of your shopping and everything, it is actually starting to become evening. At this point. So...
Getting late.
Sounds like it's time for dinner and drinks, and then bed.
People watching.
You can
Get the lay of the
do that.
land, see what people are talking about. Anything interesting we need to investigate? Especially if it's nearby, because... Do we know where to start?
You know that she was going to have more information for you once you got to Port Nansru. So...
Okay, so we
yeah, what you
rest
assume
and
is...
talk to her in the morning.
Exactly. Go find her in the morning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean we can't do any talking while we're here.
Exactly. You can definitely do that. Alright. So, Belle, what are you trying to perceive? Just like people or
looking around and listening for conversation or tidbits and such like that.
okay.
Gossip.
Gossip it is. All right. With a 12, you learn about the dinosaur races that they have that happen within Port Nanzaru. There's actually one coming up, not too far along. They race, let's see here. There's a couple of different races that happen of the dinosaurs variety. Let's see here. You get the feeling from rumors and stuff. Actually, everybody else give me perception checks as well, please.
Ooh.
Okay, from that, we're gonna throw another, because, I don't know about you, Kate, but I think that die needs to go into dice jail.
That dice is going to jail.
Alright, dice jail! Dice, you just need to go into dice jail. Alright. Hopefully that will help. Rika, you learn that, and the lady had given you a little bit of this information. There are 7 merchant princes that rule Port Nanzaru. With all of, there's talk going on and stuff. You
Petty
learn,
drama between nobles.
there is actually each of the princes handle different areas. There is one that deals in weapons, shields, traveling gear, and the such. Another one deals with beasts and beast training. Another deals in plants, poison, and assassination. Another deals in guides and sellswords. Yet another deals in fruit, wine, ale, and insect repellent. The one where the lady is staying deals in magic and lore. And the final one deals in gems, jewelry, cloth, and armor.
Interesting.
I missed the first one.
First one deals in weapons, shields, traveling gear, and the like.
Okay.
Huh.
Yep. And Rika, because you rolled that natural 19, you also overhear that there is a legendary world traveler that is currently in Port Nanzaru, signing copies of his new book.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
No.
Uh-huh. Tori says from the background, kill him, kill him, kill him. She says she hates that guy.
Did you tell me this, Rika?
Hey, Astor.
So Volo's in town?
Volo's in town.
Oh, he's such a condescending dick. I will tell Dr. Ink.
I know how
Tell
much
that jackass Volo's in
I know
town.
how much you love Volo. Anna, I know how much you love him.
He's such a smug jackwagon, Susan.
I know. And he is just the worst guy to do anything for, because he just gives you a broken down tavern. And somehow that's payment. Alright.
God, he's got a face made for punching.
Oh my god! Look at chat, Tor. Look what Andy said. And if anybody's gonna know, it's the math magician. Yay! We hit 50, guys. Woohoo! Yay! Yay! Alright.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. I'm so excited. Ah! Okay. Hold on. Let me freak out for just another second or so. All right. Huh? Settle. Okay. All right. That's true. They are plotting to kill Volo. This is true. All right. Tori is now, if she wasn't invested before, she is invested now. That is the side quest that she would like you to partake in. So,
He's so exhausting to deal with, though. Do we have to?
You don't have to, not at all.
No.
No, not at all.
Like, I just need to know where he is so I cannot be there.
So you can avoid him.
Yeah.
I might need to kill things.
She might need to kill things.
Yes, but if we ever want to be allowed anywhere ever again, we can't just punch Volo in the face, even though it would feel really, really good and he would deserve it.
Okay, you're right.
It's far more likely that he's going to trip over his own ego and die than we are to get close to him to kill him. Or punch him. And we've got more important things to deal with than him.
It's true.
It's true. I'm a little bit inebriated at this point and pretty much ready to kill anything in Schuld.
That's fair.
I'm sure if you wanted to start a bar fight, you could, but we'd probably get kicked out. But if you wanted to do, like, I don't know, arm wrestling or something, I'm sure someone could be convinced. Arm wrestling, that's a thing people do, right? That's not just...
No, that's a thing people do.
That is a thing people do, yes.
Okay.
While you are having this conversation within the tavern, a Cholton woman comes up to you, a human woman. She says, "You guys new in town? Haven't seen you here before."
I'll give it away.
Although you do kind of look like you could be locals, as she kind of eyes the whole party up and down.
I'm not new to this town, but I have been here I have not been here for quite some time.
Well, you looking for some work while you're here?
We are here on an expedition.
I'm not opposed to it, but we'd probably want to know what it is first.
Well, I got a guy who owes me a bit of money and doesn't seem to want to pay what he's owed.
Ooh. That sounds like someone I could hurt.
What does he owe you money for?
Placed a bet, didn't pay up.
Mm-hmm. And what was the bet on, if you don't mind my asking?
Our local dinosaur races. He owes
insight check.
Okay, give me an insight check. She seems to be telling the truth. He owes her. He owes her a debt from the races. You get a very, thug feeling from them. She says, "I'll give you 10% of whatever you can collect from him. He owes me 500 gold."
Oh shit!
Well, let me hurt someone. Come on.
What if he doesn't deserve hurting?
Don't they all?
Nobody said anything about hurting him. We just need to go convince him to pay his bill. Nobody likes a Welcher.
Oh. Is she still standing right there?
She is. You think about it and get back to me.
Why did you extend credit on a bet? Don't you collect these things beforehand?
Sometimes.
Seems as such that you
What race did he...
What race? What?
What race did he wager on? How... Would I know how often these sorts of races are rigged? Or sabotaged? No, I'm asking Susan.
I would say you don't, due to the fact that dinosaur racing is not a thing that happens outside of Cholt.
Fair enough. But I know regular races are
That is true.
prone to that.
That is true.
It's not impossible that he bet on a surefire win that got sabotaged.
The
'cause they
races
knew...
here are weekly.
Okay. How long ago was this bet he lost?
3 days ago.
Oh. He could try to wager again on another race.
It is
But
true.
that could just make it worse.
Yes.
Or
I mean, we can at least talk to this guy and get his side of the story.
I was promised fun tonight before I take on this quest tomorrow.
Alright.
If we have an expedition into the jungle tomorrow, we want to be rested.
That's true. It might not take that long. Where does this guy live? And also, what's his name?
So you can find him, let's see here. He lives just outside of the market ward. He is very close. That is actually why I'm over here. But I'd much rather pay someone else to do it. And it looks like your friend here is itching for some action.
Thrashing.
His name is Taban. Taban. He is a human man.
Oh, he's human.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could at least, if he's close by, we can at least get his side of the story and make a decision from there. Get back to our inn and sleep. We still have a little bit of time before, like, true dark, right?
True, yes.
Okay. And if the rest of you want to see this through, I'm willing to go with you.
I feel like all Welchers need to pay their bills. I wouldn't mind picking up this task. Maybe we can convince him kindly to turn it over without having to resort to anything physical.
I'm already stumbling towards the door. I don't even know where the house is yet.
You're just going, huh?
Alright.
Does he know where he's going?
Nope, she doesn't care, apparently.
I'd probably not. I'm going to scurry after her. Try to prop her up.
This is unseemly business.
I think if a man owes debts, he ought to pay them, but I'm curious as to whether he came by those debts fairly or not. And I think the only way we're going to get a straight answer is if we talk to him.
In my experience is when you bet on races, or races bet on, they place the wagers and money is held, and then you retrieve it. This credit and such is something that could be unseemly.
I'm thinking he took a loan out and then used that loan money as the bet, and then lost the bet, and he still owes the money.
That is the feeling that you are getting, yes.
Yeah, because that's usually how it works. Is they go, "Oh, you just lend me a little bit of money, and I'll make it back this time. I swear." And make bank, and then they lose all their money because they gamble poorly or just gamble in general. And now, not only have they not won, but they still owe money. It's unfortunate, the vices people develop to deal with trauma.
It's true.
David.
So you're just going through the streets yelling?
Yep. David.
Okay. I like it. I knew giving her that flask was a good idea.
Slam my nail, leave a few coins on the table. We should probably go catch up with your friend.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna catch up to her and
Okay.
prop her up.
Dr. Ink, please give me a perception check as you go yelling through the streets looking for this person.
Remember, I'm book smart. That doesn't mean I'm I'm book smart and street smart, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your wisdom?
Oh, it's not.
You're
great.
also drunk smart, so there's that too.
I am. Yeah, I'm totally drunk smart. I'm not digging this bean and chult thing. I'm drunk. I'm yelling Tabin.
Yes. All right. So you're working your way, down the street, and it's not too long, but you're yelling and you're getting frustrated. You're getting so very frustrated.
I'm gonna let my hood fall off. I'm like, I don't give a gosh darn.
Okay. And it is just about the time that your friends catch up to you, or at least Rika catches up to you, that you see a human man step out of his house and look at you and says, "I'm Tabin. Why are you yelling for me?"
You're Tabin? And I'm gonna
I
stumble
am.
over there, and I'm gonna say you, and I'm gonna turn to Rika and go, what?
I'm gonna
was I
give
doing?
you, because I know how much you're excited about this. I'm gonna give you a map to work with here. I know how excited you are. And so you see this gentleman, and he's pretty good size. He looks, pretty formidable. And he says, "Why are you just going through the streets yelling my name?"
Because I needed to find you. Who are you?
Well, you were calling my name. My name's Tabin.
Yes,
Right. How
Tabin.
else can she be Dr. Ink? As in drink, if she doesn't have a flask. Exactly, Tor. Alright.
I'll just kind of set my hand on Ink's shoulder, and I'll look at him a little apologetically and go, "Sorry for the trouble, but an associate of yours is under the impression that you owe her quite a bit of money from the races, and we're hoping to clear things up."
You Wilcher.
I don't owe them anything.
We're just trying to get things sorted out. I don't trust that woman a bit, and I want to get your side of the story.
Oh, holy moly! Hi, Mother of Jedi! With a rating party of 26. Hey, thanks, Silent but Ducky. We made our 50. I'm so excited. Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Alright. And
Howdy.
we're going to take a moment, and just because I know that Mother of Jedi was super excited to check out the new logo that she saw on just my my one screen, but check out our full logo here, done by our resident, current drunk, but resident Tabaxi, by Kate. She was able and drew my amazing artwork, so it is, I love it so much too. It is all kinds of awesome. Thank you, Heltindi. I appreciate the follows, guys. So our party just got to Cholt and is currently checking out a side quest to collect on a debt that is owed by this guy named Tabin, who, like I said, our resident drunk, Dr. Ink there, went yelling through the streets to find. And he says, "I don't owe anybody anything. That lady's lying to you, and she said that I owed her any money."
Insight check.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You totally believe him. Yep, he's really hard to
What?
read if he's lying or not.
I believe him at all.
Give me an insight check. Sure, totally. Anna and Torque, I believe those D20s need to head out somewhere.
It's hard to 86 those things.
Perhaps to the dice jail, shall we say? Dice jail. Dice jail. All right. Thank you for that, Kate. All right. So.
What are we doing again, my scary friend?
You guys are all sending the dice to dice jail tonight, apparently. Look at that dice jail go. All right. So Tavern here says that he does not owe the lady who had sent you on, well, sent Dr. Inc. on this mission.
Her name, right?
You did not.
Fuck.
You did not, in fact, ask what her name was. Dr. Inc. didn't need that information. They just took off.
Okay, so the library here?
Give me an insight check.
I want to arm wrestle you, Tabin Man.
Nope. All right.
You're sure. How are we all so bad at this?
I don't know how you were all so bad at this.
Level 1.
Level 1. Yep. I'm really hoping... Huh? Yeah, Kate, it's a good thing you made dice jail, because it looks like y'all are going to need it.
I know, right?
We may have to leave the dice jail up in the corner here. Dice jail!
Arm wrestle!
Dice jail! Alright, so, with that, he tells you, he says, I don't know what that lady told you, but I do not owe anyone any money. I always pay on my debts. I don't owe anyone anything. And all of you have a really hard time reading him, apparently. Hey, Dr. Inc.,
Well,
just because you're the only one who hasn't rolled an insight. Okay. Yep, that's about right. Yep.
I will arm wrestle you right now.
We're just
Sir.
We're just
down,
gonna
Dr.
leave
Inc.
the dice jail right over here on the stream. Just gonna-
Evan, did you make bets? Yes or no?
Of course I make bets. Everybody makes
You
bets.
Did you? No, I do not. Did you wager 500 gold pieces on a dinosaur race?
Of course not.
And
Paused.
why does she think you owe her money?
That's a good question. But I don't owe her anything.
So what's her deal then?
She's just trying to make you go on a wild
Thugs.
goose chase, I guess, or perhaps get into trouble. Dr. Inc.
Think-
He turns to you and says, "You really want to arm wrestle, do you?"
Yes.
think you're lying, Tim.
Bring it on.
I will
Doc.
arm wrestle you right now.
There's no table, but sure.
We
Sure.
have to find it.
You do have to find a table. How are you going to find a table, Dr. Inc?
Tabin, that sounds like table. Tabin the table.
I imagine he has a table in his house.
He does. I just wanted to see how Kate was going to figure out where a table was.
He's gonna walk into his house.
Okay. So you're going to walk into his house? Okay. All right.
Apparently, I'm Chaos Monkey tonight.
You are my Chaos Monkey for this campaign. There's no doubt. All right.
I didn't know it was gonna go this way, but this is the way it's going.
This is how it is going. No, no doubt about that. All right. So,
Tavern the table, take me to your table.
Table the. I'm confused on those words.
They're slurred. You don't need to know.
Very well then.
all
We're
right.
just walking into this guy's
So-
house.
You're apparently walking into this guy's house. He takes you in. Yeah.
I
Ye-
find his table and I position myself.
All right. So, okay. That would be a strength contest or athletics, shall we say?
Athletics.
I'll give you athletics.
Is that what you said?
Yep, that's what I said.
I have a -1.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
And this is definitely not acrobatics. Okay, cool.
It is definitely not acrobatics to, no.
Our
Mm-mm.
first one.
No.
It is strength. Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
All right. Best out of 3?
Best out of 3.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wait, are we wagering?
Are you
Will you
wagering?
wager me, Taven? Mr. Wagerer.
What do you want to
wagerer?
wager?
I put 5 gold on the table.
He'll meet that.
Okay.
Okay.
5 gold, best of 3.
Okay. Go for it.
Yes, I snorted. Okay, go.
Oops, I forgot to take the advantage off. So that is a 14 to your
my
9. Uh-huh. Well, that's 1 for him.
Okay, I'm gonna stretch.
Okay, you stretch.
Stretching Taven.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go back.
All right.
Here we go.
Does their arm wrestling have to do with him giving back the money?
Absolutely nothing. That is 2.
I put down.
I
5
don't
more
know.
gold. I don't know how I got into wagering, guys, when we're doing this.
What? How much?
Somebody
How much
said
you
more.
putting in now?
5 more.
Okay. All right. You want to do this, do you?
Dr. Ink, why don't you just pay off his 500 gold piece debt, because you're gonna owe him $500 by the end of the night.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What?
he
Why don't you go sleep it off?
he puts up his arm and he says, "So you want to do this again?"
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
say to Dr. Ink, just imagine he's Dr. Jones.
Oh.
Oh, the fire in my belly.
I will give you
I'm ready
advantage
to-
for that, Dr. Ink.
And win or lose,
Yes.
we're going back to the inn after this.
I'll give you advantage on that one.
Okay.
As the
fire in my
fury
belly.
as the fury in your yep. Okay.
I say.
Oh, you
"Dick
might have a
Edgar,
chance
go
this one.
down." See, let's see.
Yeah!
Natural 20. Like, there is no problem whatsoever. You guys see the strength in Dr. Ink, just without a moment's hesitation, she just drops his arm. Okay. Okay. He takes a moment and he kind of pauses and he's kind of shaking it off a little bit and he's like, all right. Okay. This has thrown him a little bit. And he's like, all right.
I'm
And
dancing a little bit. And I'm back.
he's kind of massaging his hand a little and he puts his arm back up there. All right. Here we go again.
Shoot.
All right.
Okay.
1 for 1. Can you bring that fire again?
Ooh.
Last time.
I'll make crazy noise.
Nope, there's no way you can.
Oh.
Natural 20. Oh, so close though. So close. All right. With that,
I'm gonna kick his table a little bit and walk off. Just boom out of it.
Okay. So
I'm so sorry for that.
as he scoops up the gold, he has just made 10 gold. Thanks for that, Dr. Ink.
I'm supposed to go collect 500 gold, and instead I left.
Yep. Yep.
You guys ready for this campaign?
Yeah, heck yeah. It's gonna be fun.
We're just gonna leave the dice jail up just the whole time now, apparently. Alright, so with that, are any of you guys doing anything as Dr. Ink storms off right out the door?
I follow
Before
her.
she goes out the door, I grab her and I go, "Why don't you just steal your money back?"
Do I hear that?
Give me a perception check, Anna. Yep, Rika, give me a perception check. Yep.
I will turn and look at Dr. Ink and I go, "You are too drunk for this. Don't."
So I've stopped in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a slow turn around, and I want to get the lay of the room to see if there's anything other than the gold that I left on the table that I should jack.
Okay. And while this is happening, what are the rest of you doing?
I'll go up to Tavern and say, I did not want to be part of this enterprise. These foolhardy friends are the ones who chose to do this. And I hope that you will stop with your wagering. It will only lead you down a path of sin and immorality.
Okay.
And the next ones that come for the debt might just kill you.
Okay. He says.
While
He
while
says.
he's distracted talking,
Mm-hmm.
or thing too, I guess, being told to quit it.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to snag it. Oh.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's see here. Okay.
And just walk off.
Belle, give me a intimidation roll, since you are telling him to stop the gambling and stuff. Okay. He's not super intimidated by you. This
It was
guy.
not an intimidation at all.
Well, but it was kind of, in that whole realm of, or were you trying to persuade him to stop?
Either I was just giving him advice.
Okay.
I could care less what he does.
Okay. Dr. Ink, he doesn't seem to see it.
Sweet.
Okay.
I'm not gonna look at what I snagged. I'm just gonna go back to the tavern.
Okay.
I'll look at it when I get in my room.
Okay.
And she grabs his garbage out and takes it out.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Pretty much. All right. So with that, you make your way back to the tavern. Back to the inn. You make your way up to, or you make your way over to your rooms. You give me a perception check, everybody, please.
Do we see the church's
That's
job we just did?
that's the perception check, yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Ink, you do in fact see her, and so does Lob. You guys see the lady who sent you on this somewhat wild goose chase?
Okay, since I see her,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna peek in the thing that I stole as I'm coming in, discreetly,
Mm-hmm.
checking what I got. What did I get?
You found some gemstones. 10 to be exact.
10 gemstones? Nah, I'm
Mhm.
sliding that in my back pocket. Ain't nobody gonna know about that.
Okay. All 10 of them?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys go talk to her? Or do you head up to your rooms?
I'm just gonna go straight to my room like I didn't see her at all.
Okay.
I didn't see her, so.
Okay. All right. Well, with that,
Well, it's up to Lob to say something.
yeah, Lob, are you gonna say anything to the lady who sent you guys on this wild goose chase?
I'm tired. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, with that, you make your way up to your rooms, and you have an evening to yourselves. You get a long rest in. Ink, do you tell Rika what you got?
Yeah,
Okay. So,
I sure. I'm like, are these cool?
they are very cool.
They're just.
Are these rare?
What kind of gemstones are they?
They have a gold price to them kind of gemstones.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. He's going to miss those.
Mm-hmm.
We're very distinct people.
They are 1050 gold piece gemstones.
Oh. They're gonna be very useful, but also he knows who we are and that you probably stole that. Oh, Ink, man, I thought we were past this shit.
You brought me to fucking Cholt.
I know.
Oh, no, old habits, old places.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I don't like it.
That guy was a dick.
I mean, he was a dick, but you did lose fair and square.
But he was a dick.
His arms were the size of tree trunks, my dude.
Oh, well, were they really?
Well, they're certainly bigger than yours.
Everything was a little blurry.
And with that, Ink, you end up going over to the bed and passing out. Mid-conversation.
Ah.
Alright. So, with that, you have officially...
Do I still have gems?
Yeah, you have the gems.
Oh.
I'll be honest.
I kind of want to give them back.
No! I'm asleep. I don't know what's going on. I'm super drunk and I'm passed out, so I can't tell you crap. But
This could really come back to bite us in the ass.
Alright. So, with
First
that...
thing in the morning.
With
Maybe.
that, maybe, right? Okay, so the next morning, you get up and go downstairs for breakfast and hope that today is going to be a better day. Dr. Ink, your head hurts just a little bit.
Oh, be quiet. Shh. So quiet. My hood is down. Everybody got to see me last night who hadn't seen me.
And what did they see as you... I forgot to have you describe that. I am sorry.
Yeah. I am totally skinless.
Hairless.
Hairless. Hairless.
Skinless would be awful scary.
That would be extra scary. I do not mean skinless. I'm completely hairless except for this like mohawk going down the back of my head. It's like pitch black mohawk, and in a passing glance, it looks like my nose is completely caved in because it's a big black mark, and I'm just wrinkly and kind of weird looking, and I've got one golden eye and one blue eye, and I've got these like big hanging down ears that have big holes in them where sometimes there's jewelry, but not right now because I don't feel good. And Yeah, so today I've got my hood back up, but y'all saw me last night. I've got these, I'm like kind of a tan coloring on the skin with patches of gray. But my hood's up this morning because I'm blocking out light and sun. That's me.
Okay. So it's so hot and cold you took off your clothes and your skin, apparently.
And my skin. Well, but I will suffer in the heat sometimes to keep that hood over my head. And other times I don't. Really, it's the sobriety level.
Bobbert says that maybe you didn't flesh out this character quite enough.
What?
Flesh out. That's funny.
Nice.
Alright. Yep. That's true. It is hard to get sunburned if you don't have skin. That's fair.
Did you really want to get
Susan.
organ burned?
Organ burned, yes.
When I first wake up before the group, I asked the people around us up and asked, where's the dinosaur races be at?
So they tell you that the dinosaur races are... Let me grab that one. They race throughout the streets. You can find that they start and they point you in the direction of where the races end up starting and where they house the dinosaurs.
I will head to where they house the dinosaurs at.
Okay. All right.
Aren't we supposed to be meeting our patron?
You guys are not up yet. He does this before you guys get up. So
By himself?
By himself,
Okay.
It seems. So you head to where where you've gotten directions to the dinosaur race location, and you go and you find out that the next race for the dinosaur racing is in, it is not this morning, it is tomorrow morning.
So, I don't see any of the dinosaurs out
You
there.
do. You do. In fact, you see two of them. You see these two, as a matter of fact.
Excellent.
Yep.
My friend back at home will definitely like this.
Okay, so you see a Triceratops, you see a Tyrannosaurus. The others seem to be not out race like warming up or practicing today. They seem to be not working with those right now. But you do find out that you can in fact ride the dinosaurs if you would like, or you can just bet on the riders that they already have. So it is an option to ride the dinosaurs in the dinosaur races. Now, you know that this morning you are meant to go and meet with your benefactor to find out more information about what it is that you are supposed to do within this excursion.
How did we get to the dinosaur races?
So, your turtle friend has asked downstairs before he left, and he got directions to where they start the races.
But they're still asleep.
Yeah, he does that while everybody else is still asleep. So, they end up actually going and racing through the streets and up and down the hills of Port Nanzaru. That is things that you learn about the dinosaur races. It is a weekly race through the streets. They are painted in bright designs, and their riders try to steer them through a course that winds around the harbor and through the city's 4 hills. It is kind of a dangerous sport for the dinosaurs and their riders, but spectators very seldomly get injured. There are 3 races, one for 4-legged beasts, one for 2-legged beasts, and one that is no holds barred, unchained race. And the one thing, Lob, that you do notice is that of the 2 dinosaurs that you see, they both seem to be juvenile age. They are not fully grown. And their muzzles seem to be, or their snout seems to be muzzled, and their claws and horns seem to be blunted. Those that you see that are working right now. Okay. Is there anything else, Lob, that you would like to do?
I will see if I can find someone to join in for tomorrow if we had.
Okay. The person that you're talking to at the race is like, no problem, just, be here first thing in the morning. The races tend to fill up. But yeah, no problem. Just come on in tomorrow and we'll grab you a dinosaur and you can just join on in on the race. Okay.
Excellent. Cannot wait.
All right. So you head back to the inn, and you have made your way. And when you get back, you find that the rest of your party is downstairs in the tavern having breakfast, trying to make plans for the day.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Doing well. Should we go speak with Sylvain? Is Sylvain with us?
No. They went to go stay at the merchant prince's house.
We weren't invited.
No, you were not. No, you were not.
Did we want to get some insect repellent?
Worried about it.
I say we get insect repellent and then go to the lady.
I
Or
can
don't
go
listen.
along with that idea.
Okay. Okay. So, you decide that you're going to go hunt out some insect repellent? Okay. Alright. Okay, so you ask for some directions on, where to go. And you, okay. You find that, there are no shops that specifically advertise that they sell insect repellent. Anybody that you ask says, "Oh, you have to get that from the prince that handles the sale of that. The prince Kawathi. Kawathi handles that."
And where might we do that?
Well, you and nobody seems to want to give you an answer, except to go specifically to let's see, to them, and let's see here, let's see, they would have a place within, let me grab that real quick, within the Merchant's Ward, which conveniently is where you guys are actually going to be headed to find the Merchant Princes anyway. And the Merchant Ward, hold on, let me grab, is on the opposite side of the map. It is within this little area over here. In this little fenced-in area, to be specific. Let's see here. We have, alright. There is a small shop that is under that merchant's control, and only sells items that prince is in charge of. So you are able to find a shop that deals in fruit, wine, ale, oil, perfume, and insect repellent. Okay, so by the time, when you get over there, it's at this point it's like, I want to say like 9 o'clock in the morning. You get over there and you see barrels of ale. You see all kinds of different items within the store. You see a couple of barrels of wine, some different kinds of fruit, and you see 2 different kinds of items that are listed as insect repellent. You see blocks of incense, and you see a what looks to be vials of what looks to be like a salve, kind of like a greasy concept.
For how much?
So the salve is 1 gold per container, per vial. That contains 20 applications, and it protects you against normal insects for 24 hours. It is waterproof, so it doesn't wash off in the rain.
And the blocks?
1 block is 1 silver, and it burns for 8 hours. And it repels normal insects within 20 feet. The 20-foot radius, to be specific.
I'm gonna buy a salve for each person and hand them out.
Okay. So that would be 5 gold.
Mm-hmm. And then, are there any interesting wines?
There are.
What kind of wine? I want something interesting, and I want to fill up my fancy water.
The fancy water skin? Okay.
My fancy water skin, I want to fill with fancy wine.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so there is some kind of fancy wines, but as you ask about this, they say, well, there is something that is even more special than just wine. There's Tahij, and Dr. Ink, give me a history check, please. Okay, you have heard of this, you've never tried it, but you know that this...
Spell it?
Huh?
Can you spell it?
Tej.
Okay.
Um,
Teach. Got it.
Teach. You know that it is a very popular, it's actually more popular than beer or ale in Chult. It's an amber-colored fermented drink made from honey.
Okay, yeah, I feel that.
Okay.
How much to fill my water skin? My fancy water skin.
So you'd be looking at 1 silver to fill up your water skin.
Sold.
Okay.
Done.
All right. And only
Actually,
controlled by this prince. Okay.
He definitely wants me to.
All right. Anything else? Anybody else want anything else from this specific prince?
Nope.
Oil, perfume, fruit, anything? Okay. So if not, see, it's all about the shopping episode apparently. Okay. So
She put down your salve. You have a salve.
you each have
Thank
a
you.
salve, yes, that has 20 uses.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you head to the home of Prince Tamu, whatever. It's Otamu. Sure. Right. Okay. And you know that is where Lady Sylvain is staying. And so you head there, and you see that, or as you get there, you see this very nice manor, or actually mansion to be specific. And you are brought into the house, and you are brought before Lady Sylvain. It's a private villa. This residence, along with the other prince's residence, are beautifully plastered walls adorned with bright murals. You've got patios and arcades festooned with fresh flowers, garden courtyards open to the sky, enormous citerns equipped with water wheels to power fountains and kinetic sculptures. So he brings you in, and you are able to talk to Lady Sylvain, and she tells you that there are several locations and places that perhaps might be of importance to find more information about this relic. And she says, are any of you, and I meant to ask this before, are any of you faction members?
Nay, I am not.
No, I am not as well.
Okay. Okay. So she says, well, there are many things to do within the city, and with each you can gather information that may aid you in learning where to go to find this relic, as well as to learn more information and perhaps even hire a guide to help you through the jungle. She says, first and foremost, though, perhaps I need to share with you that there are some laws that the merchant princes have created, to certain laws by decree as they see fit, Slavery itself is not illegal, but it is highly frowned upon. And so be prepared for that. Murder is illegal. However, sanctions, legal permission to kill someone or have someone killed, can be purchased from the merchant prince Jasmine. But do not worry. This only has to do with inside the walls of Port Nanzaru. Elsewhere, Chult is ruled by the red law of tooth and claw. You are either predator or prey, and the predator might be a mob of who knows what. So, be careful. Now, if you need anything specific, acquiring special items or such, your best bet is to go to the related merchant princes. I would suggest you hire a guide of some kind to accompany you once you leave the walls of Port Nanzaru. Keep your ears.
What's the name of?
What?
Well,
Go ahead.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that prince for the guides?
Well, you can, let's see here. Jobal. Jobal. Jobal.
Thanks.
Yes. And, keep your eyes and ears open for the various information can be learned from just being within the city. And don't forget, for those of you who haven't been here before or haven't been here a long time, the prince just reminded me that tomorrow is Dinosaur Racing Day. So beware, as there will be dinosaurs running through the streets of town. Be careful.
Oh, about that.
Mm-hmm.
I may be joining it tomorrow, actually.
Oh. I've already inquired about the dinosaur racing, have you?
I am a total diverse creatures and well studying them. I like to study these dinosaurs up close, if possible. If I had to race to do it, so be it.
Well, I wish you good luck. Okay. So, what would you like to do?
You said several locations might be good for information. Where are you speaking of?
Well, throughout the whole town, for that matter. There is different people who know different things. And the more that you spend talking or listening to knowledgeable travelers, the more you can learn about the town.
So we came out here today for you to tell us to go listen?
Yes, but also for you to meet one of the princes so that you know someone if you need. And the prince comes walking in and he says, I know that you are here on behalf of Lady Sylvain. I will help you in any way that I can. If you need magic items or potions or what, you let me know, as I am able to help with such things.
Interesting.
Okay. Do you have a magic item that could lift the death curse?
If I had that, I would have done it already, of course.
Okay. Then it's sort of worthless service. Thank you.
I'm gonna kind of
Worth asking. Maybe you forgot.
bug Rika. Rika, is there any magic stuff you need before we go out and get ourselves killed?
I mean, spell components, they're always expensive and used up in those spells, but I can't exactly afford them right now, so...
Well, if we've got a benefactor who's helping fund us,
That's
if we can ask
true.
for- I know we're used to working with the bare minimum. The absolute bare minimum. But he's offering.
Yeah, is he offering just give us things, or is he offering a discount?
He's offering for you to be able to purchase them from him directly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you now know the person who handles the sale of potions, as well as the sale of magic items within the city of Port Nanzaru.
So we have 3 out of our 7 merchant princes, who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And he sells straight magic
He's-
items, not magical, the components needed in spells.
He does. He does.
Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I need a pearl worth at least 100 gold, but there's a prince in charge of gems and jewelry.
Yes, but if they are used for magic components, he can get them for you.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't have 100 gold to spend on a pearl,
Right.
so...
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um,
technically you do.
Rika.
Oh, if I take... oh...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I didn't give
You did not give them back.
What
anybody.
check? I want to do a check to know if I remember stealing those last night.
Okay. Give me a history check. Nope.
So I'm the only one that knows that I have them.
Yep, you are the only one who knows that you have them.
All I know is I woke up with a sore arm.
You remember the arm wrestling, you just don't remember the last
Thievery.
part.
Sore arm. I lost 10 gold. That table guy's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
Oh,
Okay. So, with that, alright, let's see here. You, actually, everybody roll me a D100, please. We'll get you some rumors that you guys have overheard today. Or within the rest of the day, for that matter. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Things that you have learned. Let's see, number 25. So, Lob, you overhear that, at one point, throughout the generations, Cholt has had many kings and queens, but none more beautiful than Queen Zalcor. Thousands of warriors killed and died for her, but the only memorial of her reign is a garden palace of Nangalore, which lies near the eastern shore of the river Oolong, north of Lake Lau. Yes, Kate, I am aware. I am going to put all of that into chat for you. Yes, I am aware of this.
I'm
Alright.
like writing as fast as I can, and I'm like, she's gonna have to. She's gonna have to.
Yes, I am aware. Alright, 91. Let's see here. Okay, so 91. Dr. Ink, you learn long ago a peaceful tribe of fisher folk called the Aldani angered Ubto by catching and eating all the lobsters in a river. As punishment for their greed, they were all transformed into monsters that dwell in the Aldani Basin. Interesting, yes? All you heard was that people caught all the lobsters and then turned into monsters. Number 11. Let's see here. What did you learn? Let's see. Axe. You learn that deep in the heart of the jungle is a city built by minotaurs. It's now overrun by snake people, but even worse things dwell below. In visions, the person who you hear this from has seen strange devils screaming in the dark.
Who was
Sounds
it
like
that
a place I definitely want to go visit.
Definitely want to go. First sight. That belonged to Axe.
Okay, thank you.
And Belle, you... Let's see. Perched atop a plateau overlooking the Aldani Basin is a ghost village. All the people there disappeared. No one knows why. And you can reach the Aldani Basin by following the river Soshenstar. Like I said, Kate, don't worry. I got you.
Thank you.
And last one. So look at you guys all gathering information and stuff. A jungle full of nature spirits, weird little elemental creatures with masks. They don't speak, and I've never known one of them to be harmful, but their magical powers should not be taken lightly. Okay. So, with that, you have made your way through the town. You have gathered some insect repellent. You have met one of the merchant princes. You have been told to find a guide that will accompany you on your exhibition outside of the walls of Port Nanzaru, and you have learned a little bit of information to help you within your journeys.
Can you, what's the name of this, this merchant prince again?
Oh, sorry, yes, I will get you that information. I will get you the spelling of it real quick. Let's see here.
Is this Otmu or Otmu?
Yeah, hold on. I'll get you the exact, because it's kind of a weird spelling, so. This is the one, there you go. Atamu. Wakanga Atamu. That is the merchant prince that handles magical items and whatnot. Deals in magic and lore. And then the one that dealt in the fruit and stuff, the wine and stuff, is that one. And the last name that you were given was the one who deals in guides and sellswords, is Jobal. Jobal. Okay. All right. So, what would you like to do? Is there anything else you would like to do within the city with this day that you now have, as it is, well, with the finding the rumors and stuff, I would say it is probably just afternoon.
So,
We need to go to, what is the quickest way to, this merchant prince Jobal?
So all of the merchant princes are within this area. They are all within the same area. So you can actually easily enough go to find him.
I want to thank you for your hospitality, Wakanga Otamu.
Thank you. Good luck, and I appreciate that you have taken on such a daunting task as this.
We will try to do our best. We can.
Okay.
I'll do finger guns. Turn around and I'll have to go find Joe Ball.
Okay. Alright, so, they point you in the right direction. So, very similar to the other prince's, home, you find the home of Jobal. This one seems to be a little more, well, it's got kind of the effect of handling, like, outdoors stuff. So you've got, more of a, wilderness guide, fortune hunter kind of feel to his dwelling. And you go to see them, and after sharing that you are there for Lady Sylvain, as well as on behalf of the other merchant prince, you are given a audience with Jobal. And you find this gentleman is human. He very much looks like a adventurer. As you see that he has some visible scars from his escapades. And he says, What can I help you with?
I look around at everybody else.
We are doing an expedition into the jungles, and we need a guide to help us.
Okay.
We are working with Sidar and Sylvain.
So you are looking for a guide, okay. Well, your best bet is to seek out one or more of the guides within the city, but I can have my consort take you to one of the better ones if you so desire. Is there any type of person that you are leaning towards necessarily?
One that's cool with dying. That's where we're headed.
One that's cool with dying. I don't know that any of my people is necessarily cool with dying, per se.
Perhaps someone who has a good grasp of the peoples inside the jungles. What to expect towards the center of the peninsula.
Well, much of the center is not been mapped out, so it is quite a unsafe location, shall we say. But
It's the dying.
hence the dying, yes. That's fair. Okay.
Stop being so negative.
He says, well, I myself am quite interested in mapping out, Schultz, as it were. Let's see here. There's a couple of different ones. And he hands you a couple of different, what's the word I'm looking for? Handouts for guides. You get one that is for Azaka's, and it's, you see that it is, if you need a guide to get you through the jungle alive, look no further. I was born in the jungle. I know its dangers well and how best to avoid them. Should you choose me, you may rest assured that your party is in safe hands. I charge 5 gold coins per day and require a 30-day payment up front. For those adventurers who aid me in a personal quest, I will waive my fee and guide them to places no one else has found. This quest will take us to Firefinger. The evil Patera folk that roost atop Firefinger stole a wooden mask from me, and I want it back. So there is one. Another one. You see the handout of this one. It says, while the lure of pillaging the antiquity of Cholt is a temptation, I appeal to those who find fulfillment in doing actual good in the world. I seek to rid the jungle of evil. There are many ruins and ancient temples that have been reclaimed so that the spirits of nature can return to their sacred places and live in peace. There are evil impostors who seek to blind you with promises of gold, but will only guide your throats to their blades. My rates are standard, 5 gold pieces a day with a 30-day payment up front. A small portion goes to pay off the merchant prince Jobal. I give the rest to charity. There is another that seems to be a pair of people with this one. And it says, why pay for one guide when you can have 2 for the same price? We have the smarts, the goods, and our own Triceratops. Treasure abounds. When we are done leading you to all the ancient sites and sacred places that we know of, you'll be swimming in gold and magic. All the other guides will lead you in circles and make you do all the work. Don't be fooled. When we return to Port Nanzaru, you will have tales and fortunes enough for a lifetime. Our price is 5 gold pieces a day with a 30-day payment up front, but we're glad to reduce our rate for equal shares of any treasure found. There is another.
Oh dear.
This one, you get a good look at the picture associated, and it says, I stood atop every mountain in Cholt. I know every gorge and crevice, every plateau and trail. My memory is an iron trap. I forget nothing. Trust a dwarf, I always say, because a dwarf will never steer you wrong. Fearless I am. There's no dragon, beast, or undead horror that scares me. You want a guide who runs away at the first sign of danger? No, you want a dwarf, and I am the toughest dwarf around. Red Dragon bit off my arm, yet here I stand. Takes more than a dragon to stop Hugh Hackenstone. I charge 5 gold coins a day and expect a 30-day payment up front. Best coin you'll ever spend, I promise you. So,
I like that one.
okay.
These are all excellent guides, but I believe that Azaka will be the easiest because she won't charge us anything up front.
We have to go on an extra mission.
No, it says she requires a 30-day payment up front.
She says she'll waive it.
She'll waive it if you go on another expedition with her, yes.
We have to go get a mask.
I prefer echoes.
What do I know about the Terrafolk?
Okay. Give me a history check.
I want to look too. Thinking to my
father told me tales of them. They are some kind of lizard bird people, I think.
I'm still hungover. Okay.
So you know that traditionally very close to those of the dinosaurs, you know that they are, hold on, I'm trying to get to the right page here. Come on, thank you. Let's see, let me go back to where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. I found it, haha. So, scrolling. They are malevolent flying reptilian humanoids that swoop down on unsuspecting prey, steal what they can, and retreat to their high lairs to gloat over their stolen loot. The suddenness and violence of their raids has earned them the nickname Terror Folk, among other races of Cholt. They are natural enemies of the Aarakocra. Traditionally, they are about 10 foot tall, winged reptilian bipeds, native to Cholt.
Here's the thing. So we either pay someone 150 gold up front,
That we don't have.
or we go deal with the terror folk. Now I'm down to meet a new species of people. They're always interesting. People. Creature. They're always interesting, but I don't know. 150 gold or the terror folk.
That we don't have 150 gold.
I feel like any quest we encounter may lead us closer to what might be causing this death curse. Who knows what else could be out there? So.
True.
It sounds like these terrafolk are a bane on people's existence. Anyway, so.
I liked the dwarf. Okay, terror folk we go. Let's go find this Azaka.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. I
walk into the street yelling Azaka. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna do a repeat of yesterday?
No, I'm not gonna run down the street yelling Azaka. I'm sober right now.
now. For now.
I'm over.
Okay. So, the prince actually says, not to worry. I will have and he calls in, his consort, to be perfectly honest. Azan. And, he says, Azan, please escort these adventurers to... And he looks again at you and he says, so, who's it going to be? Azaka? Okay. Alright. So, okay. So he says, take them to Azaka. Alright. So, you are... Okay, let's see here. Okay. Alright, so you meet her. She, okay. Let's see. She is... That's not where I want her. There we go. Okay. She is... Or when you meet her, she is woman. And she stands about 6 foot tall, weighing in about 150 pounds. And she says, so, you require a guide, you say?
Again, I look at everyone else.
Yes.
And
we
you
are going to the jungles.
And you are accepting of the 5 gold a day, 30 days in advance.
Well, we were wondering to help you retrieve your mask to waive the fees.
Oh. Interesting. You wish to Okay. And she kind of looks up and down at you, and she says, "Well, perhaps you will be a good fit in this." Okay. Is there any other business that you wish to deal with within the port before we head out on such a quest?
I don't believe so, is there?
Lob wanted to race dinosaurs, didn't he?
That's tomorrow, I believe.
It is tomorrow, yes. Oh, you wish to go to the dinosaur races? That is one adventure that no one should miss.
Lob, you
Putting this
want
on
to
hold.
enjoy the exploitation of fellow reptilians?
I do want to meet them. They sound interesting to me.
And you're going to race them?
Yes. To understand dinosaurs, you have to be close to them.
'Tis true.
I feel it's exploitive, but okay.
Okay, so, well then, if that is the case, and we have a race for tomorrow, then we will leave the day after. It will allow me to gather my supplies and make the necessary arrangements.
Cool. We're staying at the place.
At the place?
At the Thunder and Lizard.
What a wonderful place to stay.
It is. Meet you there day after next.
Day after tomorrow, yes. We will leave within the morning.
Ask for Dr. Ink. I'll find you.
Okay. Dr. Ink it is. And you see that she turns and she wanders off, and it's at this time you look back and the guy who brought you to meet her is gone. So, I think at this point that is a really great place for us to stop for tonight. Stop for this week, I should say. As you have now found and hired a guide. You have managed to enlist the opportunity to race dragons. And
Because awesomeness.
that's pretty awesome. I'm super excited for you for next week. And we together have managed to cross the threshold of 50 followers and have capped it at a 53 followers right now.
Woo-hoo!
That is extremely exciting. I am extremely excited to have this opportunity. And yeah, that is pretty dang awesome. I'm so excited. Which this should mean that I now have the ability to apply for affiliate status with Twitch, which will mean, hey Kate, I have more work for you, because that means that we have emotes. So
That's what I'm going to be doing this week.
That's what you're going to be doing this week. So I am so excited for that. Okay. Well, to pass on the love, I want to say thank you guys for playing. Again, the artwork for this channel is done by our resident artist, Kate. Thank you so very much for that.
You're very welcome.
And
You're welcome.
we did have a little bit of kitty assistance, as Dylan has stayed pretty close over here. And they look forward to being affiliates so that he can get extra treats.
Disadvantage Dylan.
Disadvantage Dylan, yep.
That's why we had to keep all our dice in jail.
That is why, and we are going to officially keep the dice jail on stream because clearly we need it. Alright, well, for those of you who are still within the Twitch stream, we are going to go ahead and there is one of one of the people who happens to be ironically in stream and lurking is currently overplaying some, well, if I remember correctly, he is playing a Star Wars game. No, he is playing the Banner Saga too. So we're going to go ahead and pass on the love that I have had today and go over and raid him with the rest of my followers. But thank you guys. I appreciate you stopping by, and we will be back for this whole adventure next week as well. And see what happens at the dinosaur raids, or dinosaur races, and see what kind of trouble we can get into with this guide that will become a new NPC for you. As well as hopefully we will get our last party member to be able to join us, as he is currently streaming as well, but he's got like 170 something people that is following him because he's running a tournament. So, alright, so hang on, we're going to go ahead and send over a raid. And thank you guys. I really appreciate you all being here, and I look forward to coming back next week and seeing where our adventure continues. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ooh, thanks.